Hey, sweet thing. How you doing? I'm so glad to have you back in the baking corner with your girl. Today we're going to be doing a wonderful, easy, might be a little difficult, but it is delectable above all else. I'm very excited to be premiering my recipe to y'all for cinnamon rolls. This is something that I have been doing like for ages. This recipe has put me through some really tough times. And when I say tough times, I'm talking about school, work, all of the above. Okay, I have premiered this recipe on TikTok a couple of times. I actually went viral the very first time that I showed it, and it got taken down, unfortunately. So I am back. I'm going to show y'all what this recipe is all about because it is indeed the truth. Now, you're going to need quite a bit of ingredients, and you're also going to need quite a bit of counter space. So make sure that you have a nice, clear, and clean counter to roll out your dough. I usually have a lot more to say, but I know y'all are here for a reason. So let's grab your apron and let's get baking. Welcome back, friends and onlookers. Today we're going to be doing pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls, but I will also give you the rundown on how to do the regular filling without the pumpkin spice. Everything is going to be the same in this recipe except for the filling, and we'll get to that later. So in a bowl, you're going to add some sugar, melted butter, some warm milk, and a little bit of vanilla. You're going to mix that well and then add a packet of yeast. You're going to let it sit for a minute and then mix it in before we start adding our flour. Now, I start adding my flour gradually and whisk as much as I can before I add like all of it. It is going to start getting very sticky. So I would definitely go slow, little bits at a time, as much as possible. And then when it's all mixed in, you really can do without the whisk, but I just decided that I was going to be a little bit extra today. But nonetheless, when everything is mixed in, you're going to let it rest for 30 minutes to an hour. During this time, I started working on my filling. Now, the basic cinnamon roll filling is going to be butter, sugar, cinnamon, and a little bit of vanilla if you choose, but you're going to mix everything together. Like I said, these are pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls, so I added a bit of pumpkin puree and a little bit of nutmeg. Once everything is mixed in nice and smooth, I'm going to put it to the side while I start working on my dough. Now, after letting it rise for some time, you will see a difference in size. It should definitely swell up a little bit, but if it did not, then that just means you have to let it rise a little bit more after you knead your dough into an actual dough ball. Nonetheless, these next steps are still going to be the same. You're going to continue to add a fourth a cup of flour and then knead it very well until you feel that it's not sticky anymore. This is probably going to take maybe up to 2 cups of flour, just because you're going to start moving it, kneading it, and essentially what's happening is you're feeding the flour to this dough ball so that it can actually form a nice sturdy dough for you to start rolling out. It's going to take a little bit of arm work. Who am I kidding? It's going to take a lot of arm work for you to actually form this dough ball. So don't get discouraged if only after a few minutes nothing is happening. You're going to have to put in at least 5 to 6, maybe even 10 minutes of you just moving that thing around. Now, how I can decipher if my dough is ready to be rolled is if it's not sticky to the touch anymore, I'm going to assume that she's basically ready. When I place her on the counter and I stick a finger, when I press on her, I should be able to watch that dough rise back up with no hesitation. And I forgot to mention earlier, you're going to want to flour your surface before you do any kneading or any rolling, just because you want to ensure that, of course, your dough does not stick to the counter. Even though you've rolled this dough ball to perfection, she's nice and firm, you still want to make sure that you have a floured surface, because there's a chance that you putting pressure and rolling her flat, it could definitely cause her to stick to the surface. So just be careful of that. I've seen people butter the surface instead of using flour, and that's kind of expensive. Butter is like $10 a stick nowadays, so I wouldn't be doing that. But if that is what you feel is best, do what you want. It's your kitchen. So do what's best for you. Okay, so boom, we rolling that thing, and of course it's looking a little weird on the end. It's got a little butt on it, so I'm going to cut off
the excess pieces. I want it to resemble a rectangle as much as possible while I go through this next step of applying my filling. I would say a rectangle or a square, just because you're going to be rolling this up like a yoga mat. So it has to be like symmetrical in a sense. In order for you to have an actual roll, it has to indeed roll. You get me? You get me. So I'm going to carefully roll this, and I'm going to do this gently because I don't want to cause or create any rips. And then I'm going to mark where I want my rolls to be cut at before I even go in with my, I guess it's floss. It's not really, but it's literally kitchen tie. I don't know what to call it, y'all, but it's something, it has a similar consistency to a rubber band, but it's for kitchen use. I don't know where it came from either, so please don't ask me, y'all. Please don't ask me. But whatever it is that you feel can get you the similar, like do the similar job to just cut a cinnamon roll, you just use it. Okay, I don't want to use a knife because a knife can squish my roll before I even get the chance to cut it. So like I said, I marked where I wanted my rolls to be, and then I'm going to go through and literally just tie them off so that I can create my rolls. I'm going to repeat this process until I have as many rolls as I want. I think honestly, I can't give you guys a number, but this batch that I made before you guys, as you saw, I cut it in half, but I used both halves to make a bunch of rolls. Now this right here is 7, so I would say I probably had a total of maybe like 20. This recipe could definitely give you up to 30 rolls if they were all cut like the same size and you did everything like symmetrical and even. But I literally halved this recipe for y'all. Like I literally double this every time. So if you don't plan on making that many rolls, just cut what I gave you in half, and then boom, you in there. To finish her off, we're going to add a nice cream cheese drizzle. Now this is something similar to that cream cheese drizzle that I gave y'all last week, but this is going to be some more of a drizzle and not just an icing. Literally the only thing that makes it more of a drizzle is I added more heavy cream. Like it was not drizzly enough for me, so I just wanted it a little more loose. I added some cream cheese, some soft butter, powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and then of course heavy whipping cream. You don't have to make it a drizzle. You can definitely do like a nice icing and just have like a thicker slather, but me personally, I like for the icing to drip off of the cinnamon roll. You see that? Y'all see that? Ooh. Ooh. Okay, no stiff peaks over here. But anyway, I really appreciate y'all for stopping by to my channel today. It is a pleasure to have you. I really hope that you like this recipe. If you do try it out, leave a comment below letting me know what you think and how it turned out. You can also send a picture to my Instagram DM if you do so, please. I will soon have my website up and running with my recipe cards available for purchase. So if that is something that you are looking to have in the near future, I will definitely make sure you guys get the link for that. If you have not done so already, drop a like and a comment on this video, and also make sure you subscribe to this channel. There are going to be a lot of good sweets and treats coming up very soon, and also some new ideas that I have that I want to share with you guys. So make sure you're in the know by turning on the post notifications, and also make sure that you guys check out my main channel. This is where I do chaotic kitchen, and we're also going to start premiering lots of different things over there as well. So make sure that you hit that bell, like, save, and share a few posts over there, and make sure you drop a comment and let me know that you're coming from Bacon Corner. Okay, I'll see y'all.